pretty much just like a walk-up Fiend script kind of a situation. Maybe if it's a core Lesh, he gets an Atos or a Yules or something, but...
5 seconds remaining.
Do you think this means that the last pick needs to be like an Earth Spirit or maybe a Clock or something like that?
Yeah, I'd like to see something with a little bit of catch. Fnatic are thinking that, at least the way that it looks, they think it's going to be the mid, or they ban the Kunkka, which is certainly a good catch / teamfight hero as a core. I mean, other options would be in that same category, I suppose. You got like Puck and not too much else, really.
Do you rate Pos 4 Puck? I don't really think it needs to be 3.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think they still have a core position open. I think Lesh is support this game.
You reckon?
Yeah, just based on when they picked it. It's not even so much about like I like core Lesh, and I think Lesh has been a core more recently, but I think this is a support Lesh. At least they've got the building damage kind of covered. That's the one nice thing that Neon have here that I think we saw Warriors Gaming kind of flub a little bit in their very first game.
Yep.
Where they just didn't have the didn't have the building damage that they needed to actually activate their lineup, but at least here they're going to have the edicts. So Neon can kind of trade against the Mass Serpent Wards and stuff like that instead of being forced into taking every single fight when Fnatic come knocking.
And even as talking about like the setup after the Nightmare, well, you know, supportless Shrek still does have that ability to go on after that setup.
Yeah. The other thing about Lesh is that he kills Dark Willow really well. Like he doesn't care about Shadowrun at all. You just run down, you just pop Pulse Nova and Edict and just run at her. So, but Neon, what do they want?
Using all their time. I mean, talk about catch. Was kind of a pick in the last game, but Tiny, like they played a lot.
The thing is, they have to think one step ahead about like a Meepo or a Tinker or something coming in from Fnatic. Like I think if this Ember wasn't picked, Fnatic could have maybe just gone for Tinker. It's pretty strong against Ursa. They don't have the necessary catch for. They didn't have the necessary catch for it. I'm still not even sure if Ember is like enough to deal with a Tinker pick if it comes out, but it could be a good game for Fnatic. They've got I think for me one of the most important things when you pick Tinker is that you need to have like a proper sieging hero, like the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
So, and in general, it's nice to have something that you can reliably TP to as well, like an ET Spirit or a Summon or something like that. And the way that you really want to play Tinker, and the most reliable way to play Tinker, is to just turn up at a tower, lay down 2 or 3 instances of March, and then just hit the building. Like, you don't have to do anything flashy. You don't have to be blinking around and solo killing supports. You're just there, controlling space, pushing out waves, doing your job. They might they could still pick something like that.
Invoker. What are your thoughts on it?
I think Invoker could be good. They've got set up for Sunstrike. It's a hero that Abed really, really loves.
Yeah, gives them that additional damage that they need to. You know, Brewmaster means that he can be more of that, I suppose, pure utility rather than. You know,
Yeah, he
damage.
plays. Abed plays some like hybrid Invoker as well. So. Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
Good call. Yeah, I'm interested to see this game if he's going to go straight QE and just like punch the Ember, or if we are going to see, you know, occasionally Abed goes for like a little bit more of some more points in Wex and stuff early on. Just
for his survivor, because I feel like I think JL will need to be white. Yeah, I think he'll have to be active, actually rotating through, helping out his Ember Spirit wherever he can.
You're cutting out a little bit. I don't know if that's a threshold thing or.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
And we actually have jabs on the Dark Willow as well, so it'll be DJ staying with the Shadow Shaman. You know, he does it well. Just no more smoke with no Blink Dagger Infest, please.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. So I guess the thing that I was talking about with Abed is that sometimes he starts QE and then goes back for Quas-Wex. Like he used to go this 3-1-3 build, so just Quas and Exort for the lane, and then going back for Quas-Wex, which could honestly be quite good this game. Like Neon are very susceptible to EMP, and a fast Vessel running around would also be quite strong. So I'm very interested to see how Abed chooses to play this Invoker this game. He is a phenomenal Invoker player. So.
Oh, of course. I was really just saying, like, I think his build will depend on how they feel the other lanes are going, and if the Spain and the Leshrac will actually have the freedom to try and rotate through to that mid lane. Like, does he need the survivability tools to be able to actually, you know, not feed away an early lead to this Ember Spirit? Because if you do that, then suddenly he is able to have so much more of a game. You know, got that catch with the earlier levels of earlier amount of lockdown rather.
I definitely, I don't actually know about the matchup, like just the pure Quas-Wex build versus Ember. I get the feeling he's gonna get some. Well, he does start with Cold Snap here. He does start with Quas. It's just, I mean, it's just been Dota today mostly. I woke up, I played 3 games of Dota, and then I set up the stream for this, and I've been casting since.
What was the record in the games you played today?
2-1. It's positive for the first time in a little while. I think in my last, it must be what, like 18 games now. I think I've won 5 or 6 or something. Oh. So it's not the best.
That's a yikes.
Not the best win rate, but yeah. It's a real cut and paste yikes. What is happening with these boots here? Why are these boots here? Whose boots are these? Oh, it's just MP's blocking the wave, I guess. Oh, no, they're DJ's boots, apparently. DJ needs those boots to run away from this gank right now. MP, please give him his boots. Alright, there you go. Isis is trying to snipe the courier on Brewmaster. Let me know if there's any, like, server information I can get for you that would help. I know there used to be, like, a reconnect console thing. So even if you didn't have the option, still get back in. Oh, Scandalicious trying to dodge out of the way of the brambles here. He's just gonna get run down. He gets punched on, and Jabs is gonna draw the first blood. Oh no, that is not the start that you want for this Morphling. It has been a hard day for Morphlings today, Danog.
Yeah, it definitely has. You know, either losing the lane or just having his team not able come back and enable him to have that space to farm. But
he's getting punched again. He's trying to morph strength, but it's not actually giving him that much health, and he just dies a second time. That is, it's less than a minute in, and there's already a 1k. Well, it's a minute and a half, and there's already a 1k lead in Fnatic. Does seem like Abed just going the straight Quas-Wex build here.
Did he TP back to?
He TP'd back in, and then he just got ran at again and died again.
Not only are you feeding the gold away, but it just means that so much space is opened up, right? Yeah.
Oh, I do lose DJ over at top. Okay. Really hard able to finish him off there. And mid lane's actually going very well for this Ember Spirit. Abed has 2 CS, Ember has 13 and 3. So Abed not having a very fun time. Though the Quas-Wex build is a little bit slower to come online. Did get a minor buff. They moved a little bit of damage away from the Exhort orbs and just gave it to him as base damage, so if you're playing just straight Quas-Wex, then that does help. And I imagine that the straight Quas-Wex build is going to get better later on. Maybe we'll see Mark not even opt for that many points in the Flame Guard, otherwise he's just going to keep getting dispelled. Might see the Sleight of Fist max or something. Nope. Jabs ganking over at mid. Mark, oh, nice Sleight of Fist dodge on the stun, but unfortunately looks like he might still be going down. Jabs already on a killing spree. Rotates in there with the level 3, and he is spamming the no, just no, non-stop.
No.
Ambiguous accent at its best.
Yeah, what is it? It's Scottish, right?
I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be. Some of the accents in Dota are a bit questionable. Luna's is also another questionable questionable accent geographically.
What British thing is it?
Yeah. Alright, Jab's just being annoying, trying to interrupt some of these pulls here. Quite a high level already. Not even going to bother trying to hit that courier. The Ursa is farming pretty nicely, though MP not too far behind. Should be able to get most of these CS here under the tower. But mid lane's still a little bit of a cause for concern. Mark, what's the build going to be? Okay, so he does have 2 points up in the Flame Guard, so... Does look like it's going to be Flame Guard max. He needs to be careful here. This is a big creep wave about to turn on him. Okay, it does back off in time before he gets cold snapped. But Jab's coming over with an Arcane Rune. May actually just try and dive him.
When you get a spare moment, try typing status in console.
Sure, can do. Mark tried to dodge out of the way there from the Cursed Crown. Not going to happen this time around. Play hard. Running in here with 2 points up in the Edict. Jab just going to try and get back to his creep wave. Does throw out another Cursed Crown. Might cost him his life. Salve actually helping to keep him alive just that little bit longer. If he had not got all of that duration, I do not think he would have survived. So he's going to be okay. I've been manaing up, and I will hit you with a quick... What do you need? The...
just the IP address, I think.
Okay. Where is it? Version, Steam ID, players, spawn group, ping, match ID, ID. It must just be this Steam ID, or is that my Steam ID?
I think it's an IP address.
Yeah, I'm not seeing just an IP. Maybe there's a different command. Mark,
this is from...
Say goodbye to Flame Guard.
This is from like 5 years ago, so maybe it's something has changed.
Whoop. DJ did again. Alright, I'm gonna... Yeah, there might be a different command now, unfortunately. Or they may have made it harder to get the actual information of the server that you're on for
True
reasons. I'm getting run at. Rappy taking a few chunks out of his health. The one silver lining is that perhaps if Fnatic win this game very quickly, you'll just get back in for game 2. Nice
Easy.
and fast. But we'll see what happens. DJ's died a couple of times up top. Neon are holding their own in this early game, kind of. Net worth sort of stabilizing a little bit, though. Jabs has been running amok so far. Though Ember's still winning mid lane in terms of CS so far. I wonder if it might be a bit laggy for me to share screens. We can try though. Let's have a look here. If it starts dropping frames on the main thing, then I can try just share screens with you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if we drop frames on the mainstream, I'll turn it off. But for now, so we'll just give it a shot.
Yeah, all good. Well, it looks like a pretty, dominant early game going for Fnatic so far. 7 minutes in, they're even pulling the waves just to keep the equilibrium in their favor.
Yeah, MP is getting run at a little bit, but still look like it should be quite a timely Midas. Not the fastest Midas we've seen. I think we've seen like sub 5-minute lifestealer Midases in some of this Midas lifestealer meta, but still. And okay, JL taking over mid lane for a bit, soaking up some experience. It is going to be nice to get a fast 6 on him. Can just use every single Fiend script to kill off the lifestealer potentially. And Abed is going for Quaswex, but he's going to be going for a Midas to back that up. So, it's a little bit more of an early game focused build, but with the Midas, he's still going to... Invoker is just Invoker in the late game. MP, they're looking for this turnaround onto the Ursa. Jab's also rotating up here. Rappy, can they finish him off? Does get the root over onto him, but now the Ember Spirit arrives on the scene, gets the chains out onto 2. Looks like they should get both supports, and MP wasn't able to run down this Ursa. Neon turning up in numbers to the top lane, and will get some very nice kills.
And that's the big thing that we've seen with them across all of their series today, is that their comeback potential is so good. They can completely just abandon the early game and still make a big big game of things as it moves on.
Yep. Play hard. Trying to turn around with the stun. Gonna get shackled up. Do they have enough damage? They don't have the Ether Shock off cooldown for a little bit. Infest damage is needed to help that out. DJ getting gone on here. Rappy still needing to be a little bit careful though. All he's got to rely on is his move speed, and we'll just be able to skate on out of there.
Absolutely. Shrek not having the greatest early game, actually a bit of pressure being on bot lane.
Fighting this double damage Brewmaster seems like a little bit questionable, but Scottalicious is actually doing pretty well for himself. Though Abed is now rotating over to try and kill him off. Does have a point in the waveform. Alright, morphs back. Can he actually get the waveform off? No, he won't be able to. And Jab's gonna give him the...
Jabs lets him know.
Yeah. Oh no, MP's dead up top. Nice stun from Playhard. No setup for that one. Just straight gonna land it. Can they get this D-ward? Oh, it's just out of range, unfortunately for them. Bit of a sneaky spot from Fnatic, actually.
Using the Edict to its full potential as well.
Yeah,
on the
they're running down DJ too. Playhard going for these kills. He's got 21 charges. Burn that down. Hex coming in. TP attempted from Jabs, but he just cancels it. Does not want to go up top, so with that, Neon looking like they've actually secured themselves this top tier 1 tower, and Fnatic not really in too much of a position to trade. Abed's going to come down here with the Alacrity. Is doing his best, but not the highest damage on this Invoker at this stage of the game. Looks like MP just retreating into the jungle a little bit for now. So it is going to be Neon actually striking first in terms of these tower kills.
Yeah, and we can see in terms of the last hits as well, it's the Ember Spirit in the lead, obviously members of Fnatic right up there as well, but just trying to put as much pressure on is Abed in this bot lane. Doesn't want to get it too low though. Risk of it being denied. Every little bit of gold, so important going up as a Invoker. You want to get those early key items, whether it be a Midas or an Ags, just to enable your transition to the later game.
What the heck?
What up?
Ice, hello?
Oh, Dagon?
Yep. Apparently.
Well,
MP just barely escaping over at top. Are they just gonna try and pop the Morphling?
I
Still
guess.
got an invis on the Shadow Shaman. I think they can actually do it. Ice coming in here with this Dagon. There you go. Nightmare almost keeps him alive a little bit longer, but not gonna be enough. This is some extremely disrespectful item decisions from Ice.
Yeah, I mean, what's he even going next? Is he building into a Vlad's, or is he getting a Spirit Vessel? Like, it's a bit of a weird build that he's got going.
I don't know. This is very strange. It does seem like maybe Vlad's components. Is this just a casual Dagon 1 for a little bit more burst? Keep the Morphling on his toes, I suppose. It is 400 damage. It's pretty potent. Alright, Primal Split coming in. Rappy's here. They're just going to go for the damage over onto JL. Keeping the Ember Spirit controlled. JL just walking over to this trees. He's going to be okay. Can they actually get the Leshrac? Should be able to. This is quite a bit of damage. Ice finishes the kill, but now Mark chasing in. They do get the fear out onto 2. Jab's going to keep himself alive. Bane being cycloned once again. Over at bottom, Abed putting some damage into Scottalicious, but he's going to be okay. Abed, alright. Quick Midas usage. And looks like that's about it for this bottom lane. Abed happy to just sit down here and farm, it looks like. He is still #1 on net worth. Ooh, Dire Scan is going to catch this rotation, making its way over. Jabs should be okay. There is a Fiend script available. Who can they find? Ice. Needing to be careful about what he does here. They do also have the Ember TPing, and Mark trying to be very active. Brewmaster is going to get caught out, but the Tornado helping to buy Ice a little bit more time. He's used his Dagon, not really helping there. Abed going to go for the TP out. Same story for Jabs. And it's only the Ice kill that they get at the end of the day. And MP pretty happy with all that space. Just going to keep on farming up top.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the top 3 are the Fnatic cores. You know, just pulling up the rear, but getting those couple of key kills. You know, Ice had used the chasing down on MP here in the top lane. I don't think they'll have the follow-up though to be able to actually make something happen out of it.
Yeah, what is Playhard doing here? Doesn't even have a TP. What was the plan?
Stop him from farming a little bit? I don't know.
I suppose. Rappy, alright, he wants this DJ kill. They gotta bring him down quickly. Need to be careful of the ward trap once your phase boots are on cooldown. Oh, the Hex is coming soon! Oh no, the Shrine, now the wards, the shackles are ready. DJ doesn't manage to get them off. He can't turn around in time. Rappy making the plays. Big drive-by on that top shrine, though, unfortunately. At the same time, they will lose Scatolicious over on the bottom side. And DJ, you know, shows some respect, at least gives the tip to Rappy. That was a very brave play.
It was, and
now
like
he's farming the wards. There you go.
Yeah, much like the game 3 of the previous series, it really is Rappy trying to pull his team back into this. He's in that position 3 role, but second place on the net worth.
Alright, Fear attempted, but Mark was not running forward. I think he's going to be okay, just jumping quickly away to the Remnant. He'll be fine. Fnatic applying a lot of pressure, just staying in this Radiant jungle. But MP still managing to, well, he's just drawn a circle around the tri-camp area. I think that's the signal that, hey, I'm just going to sit over here till I have my Radiance. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes or so. Morphling, another rough Morphling game. I feel like, again, we still haven't seen Morphling have a free lane a single time today.
No, absolutely not. You know, it seems like they really understand the early pressure that gets put onto this Morphling just completely destroys his ability to have any sort of impact. Yeah, later on does kind of change things a little bit, but if you don't let it get to that point, then what's a Morphling going to do, really? I mean, he's got the rage to steal, which is alright, but...
Yeah.
I guess against an Invoker, it's actually better than what it might normally be.
It's okay, except you can only take the 2 spells that he currently has, so...
I mean, just having the rage to be able to, like, get through a lot of what Invoker
right.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were just talking about Morphling in general. But yeah, the rage is quite good. It's going to be very useful this game, actually. Though, I think sometimes the problem with the Morphling versus Lifestealer is that it baits you into not buying BKB. Because you're like, oh, I'm just going to have rage, so why would I need BKB? And then he gets hexed. Or any of the other magical disables that Fnatic have. Oh, is the sun? No, okay. It's literally a level 2 Sunstrike. It's not gonna happen. That's nice. Aegis for Rappy, and he's got himself a Blink Dagger coming up soon. Abed needing to be careful. Walking his way back towards his team. They're just continuing to pressure this bottom side of the map, making space for the Lifestealer over on the other side. But Neon they don't care about bottom. Looks like they just want to go for 2 towers at mid. The maxed out Edict shredding the tier 1. And now making some inroads over into the Dire jungle. Are they going to take any of this farm?
You know, they understand that this is a power strike. And got the Edict, they can quickly take down a tower. They've got the Aegis, they don't have to overextend. Just take things as they are.
MP did not rage before that TP. And he was almost made to regret that. Alright, he's okay, switches back over to the tri-camp. Fnatic just kind of waiting out this Aegis as best they can.
It's going to be a fair amount of a wait, though. Again, it's this Dagon on Ice Ice Ice. He's going to come back to Boston. Oh, found out Jabs.
Play hard. Alright, Jabs doing damage, but taking a lot of damage in return. Doesn't actually want to commit for that. Rappy thinking about going in, but the vision for them is not so great over in this area. They've just got this ward, but it doesn't see the high ground at all. So they don't know what they're jumping into, and he still wants to be at least a little bit careful. Ice Ice Ice, I think he would prefer to wait for level 12 before popping the Primal Split, but I don't know. I'm really impressed at how Fnatic have been holding this Radiant side of the map. Just constantly 4 heroes down here, they're taking all the farm, they're shoving in the bot wave and threatening it constantly, and it's really making Neon's game hard to play. Jab's gonna get gone on here. Can just Shadow Realm TP potentially. Rappy looking like he's just going to chase him down. And Jabs, I don't know if there's going to be an escape for him here. He's going to trying to set it up with a Terrorize. Can he catch all that many of them? Rappy does just manage to sidestep it. But there's another Shadow Realm, and now the TP out. Jabs is fine, and that's just space created. Mark also TPing in here to try and make something happen, but no catch.
Again, really nicely done, you know, being able to keep them, as you said, on this side of the map. Constant pressure being forced out. If they leave, you've just got the Shadow Shaman who's got his Mass Serpent. Drop him at any time, really easy to push. Even the Invoker. Drop the Forge Spirit, give that Alacrity, help that to push out the lanes, and it's just minimizing the actual impact that Aegis is happening.
So Neon, okay, they're going to try and drive them completely out of the, at least right-hand side of the map. And just push this all the way to the tier 1, probably secure this tier 1 fairly easily with their Aegis still in hand. So Fnatic are trying to cut these creep waves. The Glyph coming out to try and protect it. Abed, oof, Ghost Walk is going to keep him safe. I'd imagine after that we might see Mark picking himself up a Dust to carry around. But Fnatic just buying time. Stalling at the Aegis, waiting for the Radiance.
Got the Edict now, and that tower absolutely melts. They're actually initiating.
They chains onto Ice, and that's going to force out the Primal Split from him. I don't even know if he can find a single kill. He's only sending forward the sort of the two lighter pandas. A bit of a nuisance for the Ursa, but with the Primal Split down, that's going to give Neon even more confidence to try and make a play. They might lose the tier 1 at top, but I think it's well worth it if they can take this tier 2 at bottom. Playhard's going to lead the way.
Absolutely.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mid lane getting pushed a little bit.
Yeah, it's not going to be a big deal though. Like, what's DJ really doing? And you know, when we typically see him in this pos 4 role, he might have at the, let's say, 6k gold, and he's a fair bit behind that just because of the constant tower pressure that's actually being put out from Neon.
Yeah, he's 0, 5, and 4 actually. Pretty unimpressive scoreline for DJ. So without getting those kills with the Ether Shock, not really accelerating as much, and 20 minutes in, doesn't have the level 10 talent just yet, so doesn't have all of that extra experience flowing in. Though he might get the level 10 talent, and then they'll immediately give him the 20-minute tome, so he'll get quite a bit closer to the level 2 Mass Serpent Woods off of that.
Yeah, gives you at least the full level based off that, and then it's just one more team fight win. Typically when you want to be dropping the Mass Serpent Woods anyways after you get a pick off or two, so that should hopefully give him enough experience to be able to have that level 12 and do a lot more damage to these deeper towers.
Okay, so Radiance is up, Aegis is down in 12 seconds. Still no Primal Split for 40. But we'll see what Fnatic do next. Vision situation for them is actually pretty deep. Not a whole lot in the immediate Radiant jungle. Now we got another Fiend's Grip onto Ice. That Aegis is being reclaimed, but doesn't look like Ice is going to make it out of here. Does get punished once again on the bottom side of the map.
Thought it was quite an early Split Earth coming out from the Shrek, but I guess just wanting to burst him down as quickly as possible just in case there was any rotations coming through.
Jabs and Abed making their way over. Abed's still a 1k gold away from picking up his Aghanim Scepter, and Mark cutting off the retreat from DJ. Fnatic actually feeding a little bit. Rafi now also looking towards Jab's going to expend his ultimate just to try and keep himself alive, but I don't think it's going to do enough. Mark's still chasing. Jabs doesn't want to use the Shrine, just going to try and run this one out, but he's getting burned down. Can't go for the TP, wants the neutral deny, but Sleight of Fist will finish the kill.
I gotta say, Mark's looking a lot more impressive on this Ember Spirit than his previous series.
When he actually has a game, yeah.
Yeah, and against, probably let's just say some more favored opposition as well.
For sure.
Going up against Abed, it's not an easy task. Taking a tier 2 tower, the entire map is opened up to Neon. They'll look to take some sort of objective after getting a pick off, and it just leaves Fnatic so vulnerable. Any sort of smoke that might come through. They've really got their item timings on point. I think they might look to wait for this Skadi, but it's a little bit away.
Do you think that this speaks to, like, are Fnatic not playing particularly well? Is SEA just strong as a region? Like, is this game... Is there some other factor this game that you would point to and say, like, this is why it's so close?
I mean, I feel like they've actually picked something that they're a bit more comfortable with on Neon. Spirit. The Bane is able to lock down a lot of what Fnatic has with the Brewmaster and the Lifestealer, and a little bit of, as you said, the C scene is getting a lot closer. Not just one dominant team; it's going to sweep everyone across the board. That being said, though, Fnatic is good enough that a single one-team fight can quickly snowball. Several objectives lost.
And they're doing a really good job of controlling this high ground area here. They've got wards on both of two of the entrances, and just waiting for anyone on Neon to be stupid enough to poke their head up. I think this is a really cool move, actually, because they've created this spot here that Neon can't move through, and then they're just pushing the Lifestealer through over on the top lane. So it's really difficult to get over here and contest MP because they've just created this pocket. But
yeah,
Neon...
but look at where they actually are. They're all on the dire side of the map. They're essentially just doing whatever they want, although they're going to lose a tier 1 and now a tier 2 with Mass Serpent Wards dropped on it.
Oh, Rappy needing to be careful. Can they get the Hex onto him? Yes, they can. They need the follow-up lockdown. Shackle should be coming in. He's feared. And Rage is going to save him for a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to do enough. Does he have a buyback available? Could consider using it. They come in with the Leshrac doing decent damage. Primal Split just barely coming out of Ice, Ice, Ice. Mark also getting locked down with the Hex. DJ doing a lot of work this fight. And now Scottalicious choosing to waveform into this is going to just get caught inside of the ice wall. He's also in some trouble. Hex now locking him down, and Bane finish it off. 5-man wipe coming up. Can't even finish off Ice, Ice, Ice. And like you were saying, Danog, all Fnatic need is that one team fight, and they can just take so much.
Yeah, I mean, Rafi a little bit out of position. He even got the enrage off, but it wasn't enough to be able to survive the complete onslaught coming up from Fnatic. You could potentially think, you know, was it more worthwhile to just stay on the dire side of the map where they were? Maybe try and pressure a tier 3 themselves and force Fnatic to be the one.
I don't know if that was that intentional by Abed, or maybe just TPing a little bit too close. Almost got that interrupted.
Yeah.
But he forced the dust. I don't know. That's some kind of value.
What a bait.
Yeah.
But it just shows like the value of that pointed out as being like the fly spot. Fly loves standing on that high ground Radiant secret shop. And it just cuts off an entire area for the Radiant to go to. Yes, they weren't really using it, but you're just completely vulnerable. You do go anywhere near that mid or top lane.
I think what Neon were telling themselves there is that, like, we've had the advantage in the last couple of fights. We've been the ones kind of dictating what's happening. So we should be able to take this fight. Like, why should we let them have our tier 2 tower for free? But like you're saying, Fnatic are just too set up. They have too entrenched of a position for you to actually come in and easily take the map. And if they had just waited and let them have the tier 2 and then maybe taken a subsequent fight or come and taken the Roshan, then we wouldn't see this crazy roller coaster of a net worth graph. Actually, win percentage is loving Fnatic at the moment. Already 90% Dota Plus in their favor.
And then, you know, we talk about Abed being kind of the flashy player on Fnatic, and I guess you can say DJ as well, but all actually team fight about to come down.
The inner smoke, they do have an Aegis and a Cheese. What can they actually catch here? Nothing. DJ jumps forward, puts down the Master Boards, doesn't find a thing.
Oh,
Play hard, trying to turn this around onto the Brewmaster, but he's in a terrible position. He's just going to get focused down immediately. I don't know what that was.
Way too greedy.
Yeah, the rest of his team was going this way. He was just running up to try and find some kind of... Maybe he thought the Brewmaster was going to blink forward and catch somebody else, but did not.
I mean, he was the one that was in most danger, right?
Yeah, did not seem like he was very aware of the positioning of his team. Alright, well, with that, that is another quick tower. Neon still working on this Scotty.
Some free gold.
Scottalicious. Yeah, a little bit of free gold. Why not? Some nice last hits. Ooh, Mark, you gotta be careful, my friend. DJ's a little bit far away to do anything about him, but Terrorize maybe could be a problem. Shrine goes down. Neon TPing into this, but Bramble's gonna hold them back, and Fnatic, meanwhile, playing the lane control game pretty much perfectly. I think they might even just be trying to stall out this Aegis at this point. Yeah, shove bottom, sit near this ward, keep shoving top, play near this ward, and don't let them get past your river at all.
Absolutely. And look for how far ahead MP is, right? Like, normally it's Abed being the one to make the big plays, you know, show off his mechanical skill, but it's, you know, very much the game of the stable core. It doesn't need flashy plays at this point. Sometimes Dota is just standing on a high ground where you've got the vision advantage, you've got the positioning advantage, and...
They want jabs. He's still pretty healthy, though. Tanky with the Spirit Vessel. Abed now coming in. Ice Wall laid down, gonna catch onto both of them. Abed needing to be careful of the damage, though. Where's the follow-up, really? DJ now coming across. There's the Hex, and that should be the end of poor old Marky Mark. He's gone. Over on the other side of this fight, they have managed to catch up the Brewmaster. The Fiend script locking him down, and Rappy doing the damage. Jabs. Does throw the Vessel over onto him. Playhard getting chased down. This is a double damage Lifestealer joining this fight. Hex onto Rappy. He's been so good for his team in the previous series and in this game, but he's now dead, and Fnatic take themselves a 4-for-1 as they are now right on Neon's doorstep. The Aegis is still up for Neon, but Morphling's not even here. He doesn't even have a TP scroll. Scottalicious, where are you?
He's gonna have to book it all the way back, and they're gonna lose the Raps.
He's just gotta walk. Morph that Agi, get that move speed. Yeah, that's what you need.
I mean, I feel like this is the sort of game where if he did that, there would just be an amazing Sunstrike. Like,
yeah, that's true. And now, okay, he gets the rage. He's turning it around a little bit onto Abed. Yule's gonna help keep him alive. He's got the Ghost Walk coming off cooldown, but he has been rooted. All right, Fnatic maybe being a little bit silly, chasing after the. Chasing after that Morphling there. MP just gonna go for the rage TP. He's fine. Doesn't even TP back to the fountain. That is some cool, calm, and collected rage TP to the shrine. Keep on farming.
Absolutely. And they were able to get all those kills in the bot lane just because they had obviously taken the tier 3 tower in the top lane, and then they know that there's not going to be any sort of reinforcements that come from the shrine. The only one that got picked off was Ice on his Brewmaster, who had the buyback, so he wasn't really in any danger, even though they used the grip.
DJ's playing games with him. Aegis is still up for another minute, but Fnatic choosing to take this fight without their Invoker. They're just jumping in onto JL. Scottalicious sitting in the middle of all of this. Ice still chasing. MP coming around the corner. Should be a fairly easy kill. Morphling is morphing in the wrong direction. He's morphing Agi instead of Strength. Gets brought down pretty easily. And now DJ's waiting for him with the Hex straight into it. Rappy jumping into the backlines, trying to create an opportunity for the Morphling, but instead looks like he might just pay with his life. He does have an Enrage. He does have the cheese, but he's hexed. Shackle's coming back off cooldown in a couple of seconds. He's just running for the base, but gets slowed down and will get zapped by Ice. Dagon to finish that kill. Oh no, it's another 4-for-0.
And in a 5v4 engagement as well, with an Aegis.
Yeah, and with no real intervention from the Invoker at all.
Into an Octarine as well on this Invoker, so just wanting to, I suppose, be as sustainable as possible, but also spam things out, you know, continue to push these lanes, because they're the ones that are going to be stronger, I guess, until the super late game, when Ember Spirit is able to maybe get a lucky one-shot off. It does get those items, but it feels like Fnatic are playing for either a Neon mistake in taking more tier 3s and high ground, or waiting for another 15 minutes or so. And I think they're very happy for the game to extend out that far.
Yeah, man, we've already got a Moonshard picked up for this Lifestealer. Jeez.
Yeah.
MP is he's huge. 21k net worth. Nobody else really close to him. Yeah, I think the Morphling could be in a similar spot if he had had a really good start, but didn't really. The back-to-back deaths hurt him a lot at bottom. I don't think that completely destroyed his early game, but losing all of that initial net worth does really slow down the overall progression through the whole game.
And the thing is, like, he's not going the super greedy build either, right? He's got a halberd. He go the Desolator, which has been popular at times on the Lifestealer. He's going that utility build, still doing a ton of damage just through surviving as long as he has. Radiance Burn, simple right clicks, creating a lot of attention onto himself, and they have to deal with him, otherwise, you know, everyone else in the team is just gonna slowly die a painful death. It's the war of attrition.
Yeah, he's insanely tanky too, right? He's got 2600 health from the double Sange, and then he's also got himself now 39% evasion between the Talent and the Halberd. So
the status resistance as well on the S and Y.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. What's his status resistance at?
I think it's like 12.
20. Yeah, 28%. It's pretty good. Because he's got both, right? He's got the Halberd and the S and Y.
Yeah. Only thing left is Satanic, right? For some additional resist.
Fnatic, oh, smoking straight up onto the high ground. Ice wants to go. They're going to pop the Leshrac first. Should be a fairly easy kill. Mark jumping in aggressively, trying to kill off DJ. Ghost Scepter's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. It fades now. He's dead. They didn't get the Lesh. This is actually trouble, but MP's got a double damage, and he's got an Alacrity. Abed being focused. Can they keep him alive? They won't be able to. Neon, though, a lot of their cooldowns are now out. Morphling in some trouble. Morphing back and forth, trying to keep himself alive. Waveform's a little bit further over. Now pops the Rage. Needs to be careful with which direction he's morphing. There is going to be a nice interrupt on that Fiend's Grip. MP still going toe-to-toe against Scudalicious. They're stealing health in both directions. Rappy will finally be brought down as MP finds a triple kill. Beyond godlike for him. Jail will be the next one caught. And can the Morphling make it back into the fountain? Just barely manages to with the Rage. They want him to. Ice has the Dagon ready. Pops him in the end. Buys back immediately. Wants his revenge. Scudalicious will get it. And it's actually only the Lifestealer and the Morphling alive at this point in time. Alright. Bit of a weird fountain dive, but...
I mean, it's kind of worth it if you use the Morphling buyback, right? Like, now they didn't have to use any buybacks on Fnatic's side. If they win one more team fight, they're able to just safely go down mid, just end the game. It leaves them a lot more apprehensive to take Roshan as well. Might mean that that key third Roshan with Pressure Shard goes the way of it.
Yeah, Roshan not too far away. 35 seconds on that one. And what's DJ got? Still just kind of buying little items. No sign of an Aghanim Scepter or anything for him, but lots of really good survivability. And he has been getting focused a lot by Neon. I think they've realized that they just have to kill him. Otherwise, he's just gonna take one of their cores completely out of the fight.
I think, like, the way that Fnatic have played previously is that Jabs tended to have some sort of ability or item that's actually saved someone else on his team.
Yeah. Oh, Terrorize has already been used. Keep the Leshrac away. The Roshan's dropping pretty quickly, and like you pointed out, Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard coming up. MP does not actually want to get any closer to this. Sunstrike scouts it out. Rappy getting bashed, needs to be careful. Popsy and Rages for that last little bit of damage. They desperately needed this Aegis on the Morphling. But bottom wave is pushing in, and Fnatic are actually looking to keep heroes here.
Hobbit?
Ember's TP'd back over. Scudalicious feeling confident now that he has this Aegis, but needs to be careful. Waveform's a little bit further away.
Drop in the sentry just a little bit late. And yeah, Brewmaster didn't have his buyback on that. Still about 5-10 seconds off respawn timer as that Roshan spawns. So a little bit fortunate for Neon. I believe it was either an instant or near instant respawn.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds past. Oh. Alright, Lesh looking like he should be okay, unless Lifestealer finds and bashes him. So that would be about it. He's still playing around up here. He wants to go for another wave. I don't know if even know if they spotted him. Oh, the Moonshard vision. I don't think he took into account the fact that Night Stalker has bonus night vision. Oh no. Play hard. It would have been a nice sneaky move, but alright, over on the other side of this, Jab's blinking himself a little bit further away. He's actually making a ton of space.
Is Jabs the one to chase here, though? Like, you just saw that they had the Light Stealer and the Shadow Shaman in the top lane. They'd used the Sunstrike already. Turn around on someone that isn't your position 5 on Fnatic.
I don't know who else they saw, though. This is what their vision looks like right now, so... There may not have been any other opportunities. Alright, we've got the Octarine core picked up now. So I think with that and the talent, Cold Snap is a 100% uptime.
Oh.
Morphling. Need to be careful. Alright, does lifesteal up a little bit with the waveform. That's nice. He's still got the Aegis for a little bit longer. They're focusing on a couple of these pandas, but they're alacritying the Earth Panda. Alright. Haven't seen this for a little bit. This is echoes of wings, but take down the tier 3, and I guess they can, if they wanted to, they could just keep doing that to siege the game out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't have the freedom of if they had a refresher shard, but still.
Radiance gets Scudalicious just straight up onto the high ground. He gets hexed. That's gonna be his first life gone. Dagon pops him. Ember Spirit gets the Abyssal Blade on his head. He's gone. Does have a buyback available. Scudalicious, one more rage. Trying to focus onto Ice, but I don't know if he's really the best target. Who else can he actually go for? MP finds another kill. Abed now controlling the Morphling. He's hexed up. Cataclysm looking for him. They don't quite have the disables there in time, but once again, Morphling caught in the Agimorph. He's dead for 120 seconds. They do manage to bring down DJ, but he buys back immediately. Mark just trying to keep himself alive. Over on the other side of the fight, MP's low on mana. Needs to be a bit careful of Rappy here. Does not have enough mana for his Heaven's Halberd. Gets caught in the stun. Brewmaster going to come in. Tries for the assist. MP just going to man up and fight, hoping for some lucky bashes. I don't think it's quite going to be enough. Does jump inside of the Brewmaster. Popping out in a second. DJ re-engaging into the fight. Abed looking for another cold snap. Ice Wall getting dropped down. Keeping himself alive. Jab's doing the damage as well with that Bedlam. And that will be it. Fnatic taking game number 1. They faltered a little bit through the mid game. I have to give Neon some props for how they played, but in the end, Fnatic, great coordination, great team fight, and can win it on the back of MP's lifesteal.
Absolutely. I mean, just such a stable core, always gets his farm, and it just comes to the front every single time. Their ability to team fight around each other, save each other constantly, and just have that overall impact of not save your mate syndrome, where they sort of overcommit to things, but if there is a core target that you need to make sure lives, they always do it and always survive on just that slither of HP.
Yeah. Though they always seem to find these little outplays, right? Even against, like, you know, Neon, let's say, what, solidly tier 2 team probably in the SEA scene from what we've seen. They did just beat Boom, and but it's Fnatic with all these little jabs rotations in the early game, getting Abed kind of back into his lane after a little bit of a slow start. And, you know, Fnatic even, I don't know how trolly you want to say that this Dagon is. I feel like it did actually end up being pretty valuable for Ice Ice Ice. Oh, would you look at that? I just got invited to the lobby. How nice. Here, I'll send you the password.
I'm in. I'm
invited. Oh, you're in? Okay, nice. Easy peasy.
But yeah, like the burst down was influential, and I think it can't be underestimated how much impact Jabs actually had. So many great terrorizers that were put off.
He did more damage than Abed that game.
Wouldn't surprise me. Abed didn't have his greatest game, but he did what he needed to, right? He was actually a bit more of that space creator. He had a lot of crowd control in these team fights. He was putting Alacrity mostly onto MP, sometimes onto an Earth Panda, but he was definitely having his effect in various ways. He got the Deafening Blast off, Ice Wall to be able to really lock down Rappy when he was just in deep on a fight. And then later in the fall, we talk about the ability of Fnatic to actually outplay. That's when DJ really shines. You know, we've seen him so many times on the biggest stages, TI, majors, wherever else. He can really just come in clutch at a certain point in time. And you know, those shackles and hexes later on were, I think, the turning.
Yeah, you've got these 20k net worth cores running around, and then all of a sudden he just pops a hex straight into a shackle, and they're dead. And that 20k net worth is completely deleted from the fight, deleted from the game.
Yep.
And
they're either dead or they're just useless for, what, 7 seconds if he gets a full shackle off? It's essentially as good as the Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, we'll see if it gets banned in game number 2. Danog, any other closing thoughts on this game?
I'd like to see a game where Fnatic doesn't have the Shadow Shaman to fall back on, just to see what else they've sort of got in their toolkit. Obviously, they've got some things, but you know, it's a new patch, it's a new meta, and it's a new major. So we'll see what they can.
Force them to play something else. All right, guys, we are going to head to a quick break. When we come back, Neon Esports versus Fnatic, game number 2 here for the SEA qualifiers for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. We'll hopefully see you in just a couple of minutes.